Sounds
Hello,
good.
YTPC. This is Ethan
Hello?
Parsimonious. Can you hear me? This is Ethan Parsimonious Piper, and I've got Clay here of channel Clay S to just do a quick chat and let you guys get to know him. Clay, what are you smoking today?
Right now, nothing. I'm inside. Later on, who knows?
All right.
That's
Well, I've got a Ron Smith Rents freehand, sort of egg shape, some 1792 flake in it.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm thinking later I'm going to set out some of that Captain Black grape and let it dry out again. And
invite Emmett to smoke with you. I hear that's one of his favorite blends.
Who?
Emmett. We'll have to get you hooked up with him. He's another burly guy.
I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to smoke it in, but
something you can throw away.
Yeah, which I don't have. No, their first smoke was in the Savanelli, so yeah, the comments were interesting on that video.
Oh, I'm sure they were. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? What do you do? What makes you tick?
Well, I'm Clay, as you all know from my channel name. I'm in Northeast Kansas, in a town of about 400, surrounded by farms, basically. Although there is a nice lake that you've seen in a couple of my videos. It's only a couple miles away. Well, since COVID started, well, before COVID, I was working at a retail store. And right before COVID, they went out of business. Then COVID hit, and so I've just been kind of working some freelance stuff since then. And
how far are you from St. Joe?
about an hour.
Not too far then. Yeah. I went to school not too far east of you, over in Kirksville, Missouri.
I see. Yeah. Google says St. Joe is about an hour. Well, Google says Lincoln, Nebraska is about an hour and a half, which is a lie. That's about 2 hours plus.
Now, is St. Joe the nearest quote unquote big city to you guys?
I think Manhattan. Well,
that's Manhattan, Kansas, for those of you who aren't familiar with Midwest geography.
Not New York City, no. Manhattan, Kansas is about 45 minutes away now that there's the Tuttle Creek Dam and the road that goes over it. That's how I normally go over. They've had that closed for like a couple of years. They finally got that open, so it's about maybe 45, 50 minutes now. So, and Topeka's a little bit over an hour. So
you're not too far from a couple of cities.
No, it's still not something I do every day or very often.
Right. Yeah, I'm 35, 40 minutes away from Raleigh, so yeah, we're out in the middle of nowhere and loving it.
Yeah, it is not, well, okay. The driving to the city when you need to go is a bit annoying, but it is nice and peaceful out.
Yeah. So how long have you been smoking a pipe?
Off and on for about 10 years now, roughly.
Wow.
I started in college. I started with cigars, actually. I went to a 2-year technical college out in Central Kansas. One of my buddies a couple of them were big into cigars, and they got me started on that. And pipes just naturally followed. I've been intrigued by them, pipe smoking. My grandfather used to smoke a pipe, but he quit before I was born. But I've seen it. I remember his rack, and especially those cigar-shaped pipes that he had that have always fascinated me.
Those were very interesting. Are the ones you showed the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are interesting, but they are not for beginners at all.
They just look difficult to smoke.
No, they are, because you cannot tamp them. The closest thing that I can really think of to it is the Morgan Briar cigar.
Hmm.
But that's open. You can tamp it. It's not real different from a normal pipe. This, you cannot tamp it without unscrewing the aluminum cap, which is hot.
Right.
So you have to get everything perfect to start with.
So if you're a welder and you have fingers of asbestos, then you might be able to manage that. But
Yeah, and I do some welding too, and
oh,
I
do
couldn't
you?
do. Yes, my dad was a mechanic for the railroad, and he taught me a lot of woodworking and metal working.
That
And
is cool.
I cannot touch that thing when it's lit.
Yeah, those did look difficult. So you've been at it about 10 years. What's your favorite, or do you have a favorite pipe brand or shape?
Well, we'll get there. I'm not quite finished with the earlier part. I
Oh,
could say off and
good.
on for 10 years. Because after college, life just got in the way, and I was busy until about March this year. I wasn't in a great time in my life, and I just picked it up, brought me some comfort. And now to favorite shapes and brands. One, I do like church wardens, which I used to have one, and then I sat on and broke the stem in two.
Mm.
But like a squat bulldog shape or Rhodesian. As far as brands, I tend towards the more artisan individual guys. Um, that bulldog I have is from Growly Pipes. Uh, Last I heard, he's not making them for the U.S. market.
Mm.
Because of some FDA stuff back when they were doing all of that. But there's another guy, Ron Powell of RD Pipes, and website rdpipes.briar.club. He does a lot of bent bulldog and Rhodesian shapes, and the way he does it, I just absolutely love them.
Yeah, bulldogs are my favorite. Bulldogs and Rhodesians. Yeah, there's just something I don't know about the shape that just draws my eye to them.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of the super tall ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, there's that one Peterson and the what is the Sherlock Holmes line, the Handsome, I think it is. Those remind me of like I mean, I don't hate them. They kind of remind me of like the old time steam locomotives, like the early steam locomotives with the big stack on the front.
Yeah, I tend to be drawn a little more toward classic shapes.
Yeah,
and a tall bulldog or Rhodesian is not really classic.
no. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of some of those Japanese stuff that are just like blobs, and I'm
Yeah,
not a big.
I can appreciate it maybe as a work of art, but as a pipe, those don't really do it for me.
No,
If
no.
my pipe looks like an octopus and I can't figure out how to smoke it,
Exactly.
chances are real good I'm not buying that.
Exactly. I mean, and I can appreciate the artwork behind them, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I'm a practical guy. I want something that's somewhat practical, which I say, and then I talk about the cigar pipes that
Mm-hmm.
are about, well, okay, they are kind of practical in their own way and what they were designed for, but yeah.
Now, to go along with favorite pipes, do you have a favorite blend or type of blend?
I tend towards Englishes a lot. Um, I have some other stuff that I enjoy. McClellan's. I smoke a lot of McClellan ones. Because they were what was most available to me when I was out in central Kansas.
Yeah.
And Still have some left over now, that which kind of sucks. They went out of business. They made some really good stuff, but esoterica Penzance, if you can find it.
Right.
Spark Plug is a good one. GLPs, Cornell and Deal Pirate Cake.
Mm,
Um,
that's one of my absolute favorites.
yeah, it really is, especially in the summertime. It's a nice light English. I do like some Virginias as well, Virginia Breeds. Some of the aromatics. Um, I'm not a big aromatic smoker, but sometimes I just want an aromatic.
You always reach for the Captain Black Grape, right?
Yeah, exactly. I might. I quite enjoy it actually.
Well, somebody must, because they sell it by the tub, right? So
exactly.
So somebody's got to like it. More power to you. I'm not an aromatic guy at all myself.
I mean, like, okay, so I enjoy like the Hobbits weed. It's pretty good aromatic. The W.O. Larson signature is another one I like.
I have not had any Larsons. I keep seeing those tins pop up on Cigar Bid every once in a while, and just haven't pulled the trigger on them.
Yeah, it's a nice light aromatic. It's not crazy. And then Captain Black Grape. I do enjoy the grape flavor candies. Blue raspberry and grape are probably my two favorite, like, fruity candy flavors. So, and Captain Black Grape just fits right in. If only they made a blue raspberry.
Well, I'm a Jolly Rancher, a watermelon Jolly Rancher type. I haven't seen a watermelon blend yet.
No,
maybe Captain Black will do that someday.
Well, I'd like to get into blending myself, and maybe I'll have to try a watermelon.
There you go. Just cook down some watermelon juice enough to make it into a syrup, and try infusing that on some burley or something.
Yeah, well, I can get some of the flavorings off of Amazon or something too. I've looked into it a bit, but
so what brought you to the YTPC? How did you find the YTPC?
Well, I've kind of originally this was back when I was in high school. I watched a guy, Pipe Friend CHS. He no longer makes videos. He quit making videos years ago, but he was just an entertaining guy for me, anyway. And then I watched a few videos when I first started back in 2011. But then recently, as I got back into it, having to basically relearn everything, across my Briar Blues, and that led me to what's his name, Flat Cap.
Mm-hmm.
The video where he showed off that big long crazy church warden, and
yeah,
and I ended up just making a VR. Technically that was my second video on this channel. The first one was unlisted. It was not YTPC related. It was a gaming video for some technical issue to first and figure out what was going on with it. So, but that's how I got into the YTPC, and then just went from there.
That was going to be one of the questions I asked was what got you to make your first video? So it was a VR to Flat Cap?
First YTPC video, yes, was a
right.
VR to Flat Cap. I've actually been posting off and on to YouTube since about 2014. A lot of it was gameplay on a different channel. But yeah, YTPC video, Flat Cap, and VR to him.
Well, your channel name is fairly obvious as to how you found that. What keeps you interested in the YTPC now that you're getting into it and as a presenter? What do you like about it the most?
The various characters in the community. You get a wide variety, and it's just a lot of them are really entertaining in their own way. And it's a nice community. Everybody cares for each other for the most part. It's there's no real major issues with trolls like there are in like gaming communities. I mean, there's a few, obviously, but like nothing near as bad as I've seen elsewhere.
Yeah, it's a pretty welcoming bunch of folks.
It is, really is, and that's what I really enjoy about it. And plus, I like being on camera making videos. And
now you touched on gaming. What are your other hobbies and interests outside of pipes?
Well, obviously, gaming. My streaming is all gaming related. I do like cooking as well. Woodworking, metalworking, that sort of stuff I enjoy. Sewing, knitting.
Now, with things like woodworking and metalworking, do you do practical things like cabinets and things like that, or do you like to do more artistry type work?
Practical stuff mostly. I don't do like statues and stuff. I do like boxes, storage boxes, humidors. If I'd like to make my own humidor, I just gotta find the cedar or the lining. I'm wanting to get into pipe carving. But I mean, I can put like an artistry touch to it, and I do like inlays and stuff on like a humidor. But at the end of the day, it needs to be, for me, functional in some way.
And now with your gaming, there are a couple of other guys like Kevin Twiner who's big into gaming. Are you a single platform guy, or do you have them all and dabble a little bit across the platforms?
I wish I had them all. I originally started out with consoles. My first gaming experience was with consoles, and I've always been, because I started gaming when I was real young, like before I was even in school, in kindergarten. I've been playing video games. Like my first console was a PlayStation 2. I've since moved over to Xbox just because there's some games that are Xbox exclusives that I really enjoy. And lately, I've been doing a lot of PC gaming. Okay, we are back.
Yes, we are. Like we said, technology is great, except when it ain't.
Yeah, it can be a real headache.
You mentioned you like cooking. Are you going to be doing a VR to Mike for his Italian cook-off?
I am.
Fantastic.
Actually, Italian's one of the things I really like cooking. Italian and Asian foods are probably my two favorites. So, yeah.
Anything in Asian in particular, Japanese, Chinese, or just all of it?
Japanese and Chinese are what I've done the most. It's when I've been exposed to the most. There's really not a lot of anything else that I've found around here.
Yeah.
But I'd like to try more Thai, Vietnamese, Korean, stuff.
If you're ever down here in Raleigh, I got a couple of great Thai and Vietnamese places we can take you. In addition to showing you the difference between our barbecue and Kansas City style.
Yeah. 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 I don't know if I ever go to North Carolina. I don't
It's a long drive.
really, because I don't have family out there. I've got family in Chicago and in California and a lot of that, Hawaii. I've got family in Hawaii.
You're
Um,
spread out.
yeah, but nothing on the East Coast.
Mm.
Just more central and west. I think Chicago's probably the farthest east. I have family.
So, do you have any parting words for the YTPC?
Not really. Just I hope everybody's doing well. And I look forward to seeing your videos and meeting the new people and hoping to eventually meet some of you at some of these pipe shows.
Oh yeah, Raleigh was great. I'm sure if you could get down to St. Louis, if they do that show again anytime soon, you would really enjoy it.
No, St. Louis, even Chicago.
Yeah.
Because again, I've got family in Chicago. It'd be an excuse to go visit my family.
Sure.
No, I haven't had a chance to travel since 2018, maybe.
Been a while then.
Yeah, it really has.
Well, yeah, if they do that Chicago show, I'm sure there will be a bunch of YTPCers there
Yeah,
to hook up with.
definitely.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And I will be leaving Clay's link down below so you can check his channel out, get to know the guy a little better through his videos. And with that, light something you like. Give him a look. Enjoy your afternoon.
Take care, everybody. And thank you for watching.